Hi there, welcome to another edition here on Busternet. I would like to thank all my Patron users for kindly donating to keep this channel up. Thank you very much. And in line with that, I'm popping another video out. It's the 4231. Yes, probably one of the most popular tactics you will see being played in England. A lot of people have asked me about the 4231, and so I thought I'd pop a video up, show you how I'd set up a 4231. Once again, there are many ways of setting up a 4231, and I'm just gonna focus here on what are the key elements of a 4231 and what you need to do to get the 4231 to work, what the weaknesses of the 4231 are, and what are the common mistakes people make when they set up a 4231. Okay, all right. This system needs two solid players in the middle, 15 and 7. Okay, they need to work the ball, they need to control midfield. There are only two players in midfield, so you need to bring players up in support to support those two. And the 4231 is going to be challenged when it faces any system which uses more than two midfielders. So a 4-3-1-2 can be a natural enemy of the 4-2-3-1, and so can a 4-3-3. So whenever you face those kind of systems, then you have to start thinking to yourself, okay, how do I support those two in midfield so that they don't get shut out? Some common teams that have used the 4-2-3-1 and haven't been able to work that magic in teams like England in the Euros and Arsenal currently. Arsenal employs a low block, which literally means that they allow a team to come at them and then they sit back like they did against Sunderland. But when they played the same strategy against Man City, they lost. So the Arsenal's weakness is also the same as a typical 4-2-3-1 will present itself. So your goal here is, I'm not going to replicate Arsenal in real life because, I think there can be improvements in the way they play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 4-2-3-1 system and show you the different ways that you can make the parts of a 4-2-3-1 work together. The first thing you want to do is look at your fullbacks. Do they have the right roles and duties? If they have the right support duties, then what will happen is that your fullbacks are going to come up into midfield at the right time and do the transition into attack only when you are controlling the ball in midfield. So here we have a fullback on support. Once you have control on midfield, what the fullback will do is to attack the flanks. And this will happen if you have chosen the right roles and duties for your team. Another way you can get support is if that fullback is an inverted wingback. Here he will attack the center of midfield, provided that your AM is playing like a winger. So the 21 has to be playing like a winger, so he has to attack the flanks. Now, if that doesn't happen, the fullback is probably going to go down the flanks and be the winger. So you need to have the right roles set up as well for this to work. And naturally, this has a slight issue. Okay, when you want to play with an inverted wingback and you want to overpower their midfield, you could leave your entire flank, that in this case the left flank, open to a counter attack. And this is another common problem I see in other people's tactics. Instead of using a fullback on support, they use a fullback on attack. When you use a fullback on attack, if you lose the ball during the midfield transition, your fullback will not be in a position to defend. So you end up having to defend with two central defenders and maybe your central midfielder if he's in the right spot, which he rarely is in a 4-2-3-1. So if you're using a fullback on attack, and regardless of whether you're using fluid shape or you pushed up your D-line, if you lose the ball in any transition in midfield, okay, chances are you're going to leave a flank wide open. And when you leave the flank wide open, it's very easy for the AI to score. What about attack patterns? Well, there are so many attack patterns that a 4-2-3-1 can lend itself to. In one, you could have a DLF that drops deep. Okay, an AM will, on attack duty, will attack the box and your inside force will cut in from inside. You could also see fullbacks who are on support. If you're in the attack transition, they'd have already arrived into or near the opponent's box as well. So that's one variation of an attacking pattern. I cover a few attacking patterns in my book, and I'm probably going to be sending out updates with more attacking patterns as well for a lot of systems. Personally, I like to create a bit more variety in my attacking patterns for the 4-2-3-1. Okay, so here with Arsenal, all right, I'm going to set an attacking pattern up that will allow me to come back and defend with numbers and also have them attacking centrally as well. I will opt to use Alexis Sanchez as an attacking playmaker on support duty and set Lucas up as a winger on support. That's because I want Bellerin to be on attack duty and I want him to drop behind the line. There is a risk now. I have to accept that there's a risk. When Bellerin goes attacking, that whole entire right flank is going to be in trouble. So here Coquelin is on CMD duty, which has a close down more locked in default, which is not a big issue for me because I do expect both my ball winning midfielders to close down more anyway. Whenever I create any tactic, I'm thinking in terms of with and without the ball. I want to know how they come back when they don't have the ball. So here we have a 4-2-3-1. I've got players that I expect to come back. Alexis, Lucas, I want them to drop in so I get like a 4-4-1-1 going when I'm defending. When I'm attacking, I'm expecting us to look like a 4-2-3-1. And I have Zaka as a DLP on support. People might ask me, why did you choose a DLP on support? Well, simple reason. I don't want him to roam. I want him to have that mixed passing that DLPs have. Furthermore, I want him to be positioned slightly higher than Coquelin, so that's why I chose this role. If I wanted to choose, I could probably go with the CM on support, but then I'd have to look at his PIs as well. So then I'll have to think about all his PIs, and right now I don't want to think about all his PIs. I just want to create something basic. So here I go DLP support. I don't have to think about his PIs. I know now he's gonna have like shoot less often, already active as a DLP and support, so that removes one headache from me. He's gonna close down sometimes. I can accept that. So he's gonna have support here in this area here. There's gonna be 3 players on support. Okay, and we got Ozil attacking. What about the PIs for everybody else? Okay, here I'm gonna tell Kieran Gibbs to few risky passes and dribble less. Aha. Okay, my favorite thing that I like to do. Here again, I want him to dribble less and I want him to play risky, lower risk passes. Okay, and in midfield, same thing. Left a check. Check will distribute the fullbacks. Up front, we got close down more, tackle harder. Close down more, tackle harder. Move into channels for Ozil because I want him to move vertically up and down. I want to encourage that movement. Then I've got Lucas here. Close down more, tackle harder. And I've got our friend Giroud on close down more and tackle harder. What about my PIs? I'm going to pass into space, play out of defense, play wider, push up the defensive line. And this is basically my PIs. All right, at the moment, pass into space. I want to attack the spaces behind the players. And this I fancy there will be quite a few spaces opening up. My mentality, well, okay, you guys are probably wondering, extremely low, very low, low, average, what the hell is this? Okay, this is actually a language pack, so I'll just take this language pack off. This is my language pack, Bastanet English. I'll just go back to English. So for most of you who are watching the show for the first time, you probably are wondering, I don't have that skin. Well, that skin is available from Steam Workshop. It's the Bastanet language pack skin. And it actually removes mentality for me because I like to think of mentality as risk. Okay, so here we are. Our language pack is now. So the mentality would be standard. I can play on standard or countered. I'd rather pick something lower in mentality because 4-2-3-1 is really a naturally attacking system. Okay, Alex, we've done the PS for everybody, Zaka included. Now for Coquelin, I don't want him to be a hero, so play it short. Okay, so he's gonna play like that. Now in preseason, I did give this tactic to my S-Man. I wasn't managing it, so my S-Man used my 4-2-3-1 without any of the PIs, and rather without any of those PIs, and he happily hammered Leverkusen 5-0. Not bad. My S-Man does well with this tactic, doesn't he? So let's see whether I can do just as well with this system as right now. Okay, we have Monreal injured, so we'll have to call on Kieran Gibbs. I don't want to use Chamberlain. I'd rather use Lucas because the position I play is a winger's position. Chamberlain is he's got decent crossing, but I prefer Lucas at the moment because Lucas has got better crossing. And now I'm gonna tell our friend here to be an inside forward and support. So he's gonna cut inside. This guy's gonna cut. Oh yeah, Alexis. I don't think I have him sit narrower, so he'll sit narrower. So he'll cut inside. So we're gonna have all kinds of chaos around the middle here, and hopefully we get Bellerin to bomb down the flanks. So our first match is going to be coming up pretty soon, and I want to try to sit back a bit and see whether I can exploit the space behind the attacks. The width, I want to play fairly wide as well. I want to get my play down the flanks. So here we go, we've got the players sorted. Burnley have come in with a 4-4-2, which is quite a challenge for the 4-3-1-2. The 4-3-1-2 does not like the 4-4-2. So we're going to start off on 2D Classic as well. And I'm going to remove all this. Here I want to see how our team drops back into defense. I want to play a counter only to see how we look when we are defending. Ward crossing it early. You can see that because the fullback is on attack, so you may want to, some players you might want to ask them to tighten up. So I'm leaving it as it is. Bellerin throw into Lucas. Lucas inside to Xhaka. Xhaka finds Ozil inside the box. Ozil shoots. That's the keeper the first time. So once again, I'm on a counter mentality because I want to sit back and see how we do in terms of possession, in terms of how we defend. Lucas crossing it in. Xhaka in the box again. The Arsenal boys are camping in and around the half. Gibbs here. This is his position after the corner was taken. Alexis cuts inside, takes a shot at goal and forces another save from the keeper. It's Arsenal at the moment. First time I'm managing Arsenal. Why don't I do something different? Okay, let's go structured. Okay, remember that structure creates more space, right? So here we're going to make a small change to the tactic and play structured now. Coquelin, he's challenging the ball, finds Alexi to Giroud. Giroud inside the box. Giroud tries to shoot. Keane gets in. What a last-ditch tackle from Keane. Again, they try to release the players. Xhaka with the ball out to Alexis. Alexis sitting centrally finds Ozil. Ozil now looks around, finds Xhaka again. Xhaka back to Alexis Sanchez. He's going to get the ball to Giroud. Giroud has a chance to play Ozil in. Ozil shoots. Ozil scores. Arsenal are 1 goal ahead. A fairly bit more space now. I went structured and allowed my team to attack the spaces now. So this is a bit more fun. Okay, so can I go back to fluid? I can certainly go back to fluid. There's no reason why I can't. Okay, let's go. But right now, Burnley might be trying to get the goal back. So the spaces will be fun for us to attack. So I'm going to leave it unstructured for a while. Coquelin to Xhaka. Xhaka to Alexis Sanchez tries to do something with the ball, but he can't. And now we are having to defend. This is where the 4-2-3-1 has issues. But Xhaka says, we don't. Ozil to Giroud. Giroud now on his own. When he's on structured, you're going to really depend on Giroud to hold out the ball. But he didn't choose to, but there was enough support. Coquelin back to Xhaka. The boys win the ball back again. Preventing Burnley from launching an attack. Giroud holds out the ball, finds Ozil. Ozil now cuts inside the box, looks for a shooting opportunity, hits the side netting. Okay, now I play very fluid, and I'm going to play with a normal D-line. Okay, so this is the change I'm going to make right now to my tactic. What is this going to do? In terms of risk, I'm taking a lot more risks. But when I'm doing that, I don't push up my D-line that high because chances are the balls are going to get over the top. So I reduce my defensive line. And now I'm telling my players to play with a bit more risk. Coquelin with the ball. Back to Bellerin. Bellerin will look for options. He has options to Xhaka. I'm not getting my players to dribble down the flanks and be, attack them because 4-2-3-1 is very attacking. So why would I want to do that? Here we go. 38 minutes in. You can see the shape when we are defending is more like a 4-4-1, like almost a 4-5-1, which is what I was trying to get at. So here we go, Coquelin. Yeah, he's not that fast, is he? He checked back because he doesn't want to overcommit at that point. If you missed it, check what just happened. All right, the ball goes, he hits the ball, and this is going to overcompromise his defense, right? So he goes up, realizes he's creating a big pocket of space behind him. He checks back because his priority now is the defense. So he goes back into a defensive position. Coquelin with the ball. Xhaka, Alexis Sanchez to Giroud to Ramsey. Ramsey out wide to Lucas. Lucas inside the box takes a shot, forces the keeper into a save. Giroud into space for Lucas to attack. Lucas doesn't attack the space. Alright. Here Coquelin again to Xhaka. Xhaka out wide to Bellerin. Bellerin goes down the flanks, drops a cross in. Zaka will pick this up. He's not going to shoot from range, is he? He does. He scores. Arsenal 2, Burnley 0. But okay, now I wanna change my mentality. So here, I know my team is doing well. We have the lead. We don't need to take chances. We can go to counter structured. And why would I want to pass? Now they're gonna attack me. I could pass into space. Now I push up my D line, so I'm not so deep. I could pass into space, but why not do this? Now I'm gonna control the game. I'm gonna see out the half right now with these shouts. Retain possession, which is gonna reduce my through passes. Work ball into box, which is gonna reduce my crosses, but get more players. In terms of possession numbers, they're gonna go up. So now I'm just gonna control the game. Excuse my pronunciation of some of the foreign names. I know sometimes I don't get them right. Koscielny to Ramsey. Here we go. You can see how high the boys are pressing. They can't even throw the ball out properly. And there we go. The game's over. Arsenal 2, Burnley 1, Burnley 0. Now you can see the match stats of the game. Okay, 6 clear-cut chances, or rather 5 clear-cut chances in the game. I was very happy with the way we played. So let's take a look at with and without the balls. I like to see this. So this is how we look like without the ball when Mesut Ozil was playing, and once he was injured, Ramsey came in, and the shape, well, it looked pretty much the same. So I got a basic shape here, like just like a 4-5-1 to defend ourselves, which is something I was aiming for. Okay, when we have the ball, I'm pretty happy with the shape that the team takes when they have the ball. When I'm looking at the key combinations of passing, you can see that in the final third here, we have a lot of good combinations in attack, which means that your ball position. This is the reason why I'm very keen on making sure that the fullbacks have got a low risk pass strategy, because if they lose the ball, we could find ourselves in trouble, and I don't want to see that happening. Okay, so when we are in a defensive third, you can see how difficult transitions are going to be if you don't get the ball to the right place all the time. So I make sure that the fullbacks now have got a low risk pass strategy. So this helps us keep the ball as well. So this is basically the 4-2-3-1 that I set up. The roles and the duties. This would be the roles and duties I set up for my 4-2-3-1. I could play on counter and structured, or I could play it on counter and very fluid, or I could play on control and very fluid, and control and structured. So just go through the video again if you want to find out what I did in terms of the shouts. In terms of the shouts, I could use pass into space when I want to explore the defensive line. The opposition's defensive line, or I could decide to keep possession and play with a work ball into box shout. Sometimes I can drop my D line if I wanted to attack space, and sometimes I can push up my D line to compress space. And those are the varieties that you could use in terms of mentality and shape. Now there is no cardinal rule in the game that says you have to play it at this mentality or that shape. No, you can play. Just you have to realize what happens when you go fluid and when you go structured. That's all. It's pretty standard from there. So once again, I'll just run through all the instructions for each player. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tactical guide of the 4-2-3-1. If you need more information, you can always go to my Patreon page, or you can hunt me down on Twitter at Busternet. I will try and respond. So have fun. And once again, I'm not replicating Arsenal here. I'm just creating a 4-2-3-1. You guys have fun. Bye-bye.